Hello, everybody. I'm Brady Cameron, the marketing game changer, and this is basically for today health club owner. Now, I mean non-corporate health club owners. I don't deal with corporations. So if you're a mom and pop health club and you're having trouble getting prospects in through your door, you want to raise your prices, you need to increase your and mainstream your sales system to get better numbers, better closing numbers, then you're going to want to go to a class that I'm just getting ready to start called, it's actually at bradyclass.com. BRADYCLASS.com, bradyclass.com. Just register there, boom, 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 and then you'll be notified of what day and time that the class is actually going to take place for you. And here's what we're going to talk about and actually learn on that class. The first thing that we're going to do is I want to turn you on to two certain things. One is direct marketing. That's marketing that you're going to pay for, and what type of rate of return should you absolutely expect to get back on that marketing. And the second thing is how to market without using any money and just using a little bit of your time to address and talk directly to the people that you want to address and talk to, and you actually won't be charged or pay anything for that. It's just basically free social media marketing, but I'm going to show you how to do it with a little bit of a twist to it. So first thing I want to talk about is the difference between direct marketing and social media marketing. Now, the big thing about between these two is actually you're paying for one and you're basically getting them for kind of free. But here's the big thing. I see a lot of health club owners and small business owners that I speak with and deal with, and they are dead set against doing any type of paid advertisement. I've listened to many of their reasons why. They're all basically kind of general around the same concept. There are a few outsiders, but the one biggest thing that I continuously hear is that, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to get a good rate of return on my investment. I'm not sure if I'm willing to get up off any money at this point in time in order to risk getting anything back on my return, and my business is in such a state right now, whether it being new or you just haven't been doing that well, I just don't have the ability to risk any extra money. Here's what I say about that first. My first comment and my first thought is I used to think that too many years ago, and how I actually really thought about that was I was actually dead set against putting dollars in the marketing. And here's why. I came up in the health club business. And when I first started out in the health club business, and for a very long time, I mean years and years and years, we used what was called lead boxes, promotional boxes. We used them to get a vast majority of our leads. And so to me, getting a lead was really kind of nothing more than going out and setting out a lead box at a local store, restaurant, someplace like that. Come back in a few days, check the lead box, boom, oh, I get me some leads. Okay, so I can go back and call and get them in the club. That's how I did it. And then, of course, there was buddy referrals from those leads. And then, of course, I also got into doing nightclubs, to where, we go in and set up and give away a bunch of free memberships or whatever we were giving away. Again, free memberships. The clubs didn't charge us nothing for being there because we were creating a good, positive, fun atmosphere, and we were giving away a few things that the club was giving away, mostly stuff that we had laying around that we never really used or did anything with it. A lot of times, not always, but a lot of times. So I was like, when I first got turned on to this concept of, you want me to invest my money into a marketing campaign to get people to come in and do business with me? What is this madness? I was like, Man, I don't know about that. I mean, I was seriously scared, and I seriously had issues with it, you know. But I did end up trying it, and I lost my butt. I was like, man, I think I ended up spending something like $2,000. I think it was. It's around that area. It's been a long time ago, but about $2,000, and I didn't get anything back. And I'm just like, man, I just literally lost $2,000, and I didn't get anything back in return for it. My bank account can't eat promises and what ifs and so forth and whatnot. So I ended up, though, getting better and learning what to do after paying for doing an immense amount of studying. I bought 3 courses on direct mail and actually worked with a direct mail mentor that costed me too. And yes, several thousands of dollars. Okay. But I got a return. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Now it wasn't like a phenomenal return, but it was a return. I think for every dollar I spent on that campaign, I got $3 back. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll give somebody $1. They'll give me back $3 all day long. All right, let's do this again. And in long story short, I kept doing it, and I got better, and I got better, and I got better, and I learned more. I got another mentor. I did a couple more courses, lots of trial, lots of the just failures, and but it was all done through trial and error. In other words, I was baptized by fire, basically. And so that's one of the best ways in the world to learn, if you got the money and you got the time and the wherewithal to do that. But if you don't, I don't recommend it. I recommend getting a course that teaches you what you need to know. And if you're not fully comprehending everything for the course, because the course, for some reason, I don't know why, but some courses aren't clear. Some are very clear, very systematic, very ABC, 1, 2, 3, and that's what you want. Is a course that's not telling you about it, but a course that is actually showing you how to do it step by step by step, and has support for you. That's important too, because I would think, for the most part, from my dealing with my own courses, you're going to have answers, you're going to have questions, you need answers, you're not quite sure about this, you wasn't quite sure about what they were explaining here or there, whatever it may be. So excuse me. So making sure that you have excuse me again, man. Making sure that you have some type of support is very, very important. Now, and that means even if you got to hire a mentor on top of the course to explain some things for you, doesn't really matter, because the reason why is this: in the grand scheme of things, you are going to come out immensely ahead. Immensely, if you get the right mentor and the right course, and you're going to be very happy that you did it, because then you can start getting your rate of return from every $1 that you invest. You can get up into, at least I would say, the minimum of $5 back. $5 back, plus you can write it off on your taxes, on your advertising. But you really want to aim, and this is where you really want to be, at least as a minimum, is $10 to $15 back per $1 that you invest. And don't stop until you get that point, no matter what you got to learn, no matter what you got to do, no matter what mentor you got to hire. Because the bottom line is, that old saying, you got to pay for your success, it's true. However, you have ways now, especially nowadays, how you can basically cut that time spent in trying to find the answers and what is right, what is wrong, spending a ton of money over here. You don't have to do that anymore. Basically, just a course and maybe a mentor, can get you to it. Bam, fast, and you're in there making money, and that's how it should be. If you get a course, you should be on the course to make your money within your first week. I would say at least within your first 2 weeks. All right. So that's why at thebradyclass.com, what we're actually going to be teaching you is, for health club owners, is I'm actually going to teach you how to design, step by step, a Facebook ad for your club that you can put on Facebook right then and make you some money and learn how to write a Facebook ad in real time live. Here it is. This is what we're doing. And you just fill it in as we're going along during the class. And the class, I'm actually going to be teaching that class for free. I'm not even going to charge you for it. I'm going to literally be your mentor and show you how to design a Facebook ad. So, and like I said, you'll be able to put that thing right up on Facebook, and you really won't even need no real knowledge. Maybe just a little bit. And some of you might already know how to do this. For someone who does, who could put your landing page, or maybe a coupon, whatever you would decide at that time. I use ClickFunnels. There's also Lead Pages. There's several places out there that basically is point and click. I think ClickFunnels is probably the best and the easier and the easiest. And I'm not sure, but I think you can get a free trial membership to ClickFunnels.com for free for 2 weeks. And then I think you can get a membership for it's either $37 or $97 a month. I don't recommend you go anymore because they got bigger, higher prices memberships than that. So I don't recommend you go any higher than $97 a month. And in order to build your landing pages or create funnels or something of that nature. But anyway, this class is just going to be centered around if you maybe have a Facebook ad that's not working. For some reason, you keep trying and trying and trying. And here's the thing about a Facebook, and here's the thing about a Facebook ad. And, I'm almost alone on this point of view because it's through what, I learned through trial and error and doing Facebook for many years now. The thing about an ad on Facebook is this. If your ad isn't creating the type of pool that you want it to create, most people will tell you to check your image, check your headline, check your copy, check your placement, check the original audience you designed to receive your message from Facebook. I get why they say that, and I'm not saying there's not some merit to that, because obviously there is. However, if you really want to get to the bottom line of what's probably really wrong with your Facebook ad, it's your offer. It almost always comes down to the offer. And basically, did you address the pain and problem properly that they're having? Did you explain the benefits and results of the transformation properly? And is your offer pretty much answering the way that's going to get them started towards their transformation, so that they don't have to do a whole lot of extra stuff to get that transformation started, because you're going to provide the path for that transformation to start. All they got to do is give you a phone call, and you're going to supply the membership for them that gets them going. Now, that part sounds easy enough. Okay, somebody calls me on the phone for my ad, and I make an appointment. All right, but not. Because, see, your offer has to be something that's going to motivate. That let me start a little simpler for you with this. Think of it this way. You got a guy or girl sitting home. They're 20, 30, 50 pounds overweight. All right. They want to work out. They need to work out. They have both these desires, want and need. What they don't have is 3 things to make them take action. The first thing they don't have is the motivation to do it. They have the want, they have the why, but they ain't got that motivation to make that phone call and actually go to the gym. They need an extra nudge. Because, see, if they have the want and the need, but they don't have a clear-cut way to do it, then the subconscious mind, what I call the follower in your subconscious mind, pops in and goes, well, that membership's going to be expensive. Well, that membership is, it's no better than any other membership. Well, what do they got that other clubs ain't got? Or what do they got that you can't go outside and do yourself? You could do some push-ups and set-ups and go walking or running or jogging, and you could jump rope, and you could do this and you could do that. Yeah, well, that's true. It won't cost you anything either. Yeah, well, that's true too. You know, and so these followers start popping up in your mind, giving you excuses, reasons, and some of them sound very logical, very logical. So you procrastinate, you procrastinate, and you procrastinate. However, if you have a clear cut message that takes care of their pain and their problem, and you provide a simple, and I mean simple, way for them to get started, then you have a very simple explanation to the emotional transformation. Notice I said the reasons why they want that transformation must be emotional, extreme emotion. And we don't want the first layer, the second layer, the third layer, the fourth layer. Normally, the real emotional reason why someone will actually do something to make that transformation is because it is linked to something very emotional about themselves or how they feel towards somebody else. Sometimes people will do more for others than they will do for themselves. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over again in my life. So, and then the other thing that you need is the offer. Now, for the health club business, 1 week, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 2 week, 3 week, these things have been played to death. So when you kind of tell somebody and you maybe take care of the pain, you take care of the transformation, but then the offer is weak. Hey, I'll give you 2 free weeks, come down to my club. Lacks a little luster. Okay, why? Because they've heard it so many times before. Normally, health clubs will get you in through the door by either providing you a 1 week or 2 week, or I've even seen 1, 2, 3 day passes come in for workouts, and it's pretty much universal. Or they'll offer you a ridiculously low price on a membership to get you in through the door. So either way, you kind of think on the impulse, $15 a month, that's a really good deal. I could afford $15 a month. That wouldn't be no problem at all. But you will get some people who will come through the door because they are bargain hunters, they are bargain shoppers, and they will snatch up that $15 a month fast. And then, of course, you can only bump them up from there a little bit. But that's a bait and switch I don't like. But overall, if you can give them an offer that matches their way for their transformation and the offer doesn't sound hard, remember, the amount of difficulty that a person perceives that they're going to have doing something will directly affect their perception of being able to do it or not. And if they think ahead of the game, am I going to be able to do an hour a day of cardio, do an hour a day of weightlifting, not eat none of my favorite foods, or go on a very restrictive calorie diet, or eat chalk or something like that? No, I don't think that's not for me. And so the excuses begin, and wham, 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 it's over with. They ain't coming in, right? But one thing that I have found, that is very successful, and I'll just give this to you, just like I was going to give it to you anyway on BradyClass.com. That website, by the way, for you to be able to register and sign up. Today is November the 7th, 2019. Excuse me, I'm sorry, November. It's February the 7th, 2019, and I should have that up by February 10th. Probably a little faster, but I'm gonna give myself a little space there. But just go on BradyClass.com and register. It's free. Not even going to charge you anything on that deal. And I'm going to teach you how to make a real Facebook ad that you can use right now. You can build your Facebook ad with me. We'll do it together right there. And then you can take that thing and you can put it on Facebook and start making money right away. Because I'm going to give you everything to a correct Facebook ad. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to give it all to you. But back to the offer. Now, the offer, what I like to do is I like to tie them making a decision to come in for a transformational consultation. I like to give them a real good reason that's tied to them being able to make a gain fast, really fast. Because people They don't like to wait. They're comfort creatures. And if you're not meeting that core satisfaction of comfort, of convenience, not going to get very far. So I'd like to offer a 30-day challenge to a 30-day challenge to your transformation. And then, of course, you offered to solve the pain or benefit that gets, the pain or problem that gets them on the road to their transformation. And now you're going to provide something for them quickly that's going to help get them to their transformation in the offer. 30-day challenge, transformation. And you can even put on there, or at some point tell them, so that means you'll be getting weekly results that you can measure, you can weigh, and see for yourself the benefits and the results that you're getting from this, and that you are more than on your way now to actually satisfying and getting that emotional transformation they want and need. So when you make it an easy pathway for them, you tie it to something they can get fast results at, and you make it very easy for them to get it, you get a much higher response. And then, of course, I've told you before, but I'm going to tell you again, because I think this is so important. You got to tie bonuses to your offer. I've given you such examples as a 30-day free 30-day challenge t-shirt. Everyone gets one that comes in. You can tie in a multivitamin that you can get donated to you, basically, or you can buy at an extremely deep discount from a variety of your local health club stores who might like to be, a sponsor in that and have a little mention here and there. Protein powders, a quick, convenient snack for them to get their protein on the way to their transformation, so they don't have to go out and eat or get charged a bunch of money for something or take the time to do it. Just boom, pop it in a cup, shake it up, swallow it, moving on to your next meal. See, all these little things add up in somebody's mind. That 30-day challenge means, well, if I act right now, they're going to give me a free 30-day membership, and then they're going to give me 3 other ones I can give away to family and friends. And each one of those memberships are worth like $89 or $99, whatever you want to say it is. So there's a value there for those. And I get results weekly, and I get to weigh myself and get measurements. And the system, it's a 30-day challenge. You cannot put in the ad on your 30-day challenge that you're going to be explaining the process to which they will accomplish this, because they will run. You have to wait on that until you get them into the club and you sell them on the emotional transformation. Now, when you sell them on the emotional transformation and they have bought into their emotional transformation, and they not only bought into it, but now they're really committed because of the script that I give you that takes them through how to reach the deepest level of their emotional transformation that they want, the deepest emotion, the reason why, and then how they're going to get it will not mean nearly as much to them, since they've got the emotional reason now. They've got to have the emotional reason and then support reasons around the core reason. And then once they have that, you'll find that a lot of people will come in and do what needs to be done in order to meet a 30-day challenge and continue their transformation and go forward. But you got to get the psychology right. If you don't have the psychology right, you're messing it up. And remember, the human psychology has not changed all that much in 1,000 years. We still pretty much respond and react and do everything for pretty much the same reasons, So we like to think of ourselves as more complex than that, but we're really not. But so don't let your thinking about an ad get in the way of the real psychological reasons of how to write an ad. Because if you got to remember, it doesn't matter if it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Reader, God, there's so many, Twitter. It doesn't matter what social media platform. It is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter how or which platform you deliver on. What is really important is that you wrote the ad from the start, the very first word. And before you did that, you figured out what is the psychology of the person that I'm writing to. What do they want? What is their pain? What is the problem? How can I solve it? Make it sound new, unique, interesting, doable to them. How to respond in a way that's not fearful for them. Something that gives them the attitude, the message right away. You're going to get fast results. Something that will make them understand this is a transformation that they're going to be undertaking. Something that allows them to get excited about the offer. Wow, free 30 days, free t-shirt, I'm getting a free protein, free multivitamins to help me in my transformation and my diet and nutrition along the way. Holy man, this is a really great deal, and any other things that you can throw on there as a bonus to the original core offer, do it. And the one fear that most health club owners share in common when I tell them about this is like, well, geez, it sounds like I'm giving a lot away. Okay, well, first of all, you are in complete control of determining what you can and will not or cannot give away. So you're not being asked to give away anything that's going to cost you really any money. I know health clubs right now that are doing their bonuses with stuff they had laying around. And a lot of health clubs do just have things laying around. It could be some gloves, it could be some wristbands, it could be, like I was saying, some type of vitamin or protein. It could be t-shirts, it could be a mug, a sipper cup. It could be, there's just all types of stuff, that seems kind of, it doesn't seem like too much to you because you didn't sell very many of them or didn't do anything. But when you add it to an ad that's already got a lot of motivation and things and a personal transformation going on within it with a call to action, it means a lot. It can really add some extra gravy on your biscuit to get that done. So you have to think about the psychology of the person you're writing to. And I've said this before, and I'll go over it in the bradyclass.com when you register for it. You have to remember, you cannot write to, say, a 40 or 50-year-old man. Both need to lose weight, maybe 50 pounds, and write to them for the same reasons. That is a huge mistake. I promise you, they have very different reasons for why they want to lose weight. It's the same way as a 50-year-old man who's type 2 diabetic has a very different reason for wanting to lose weight than a 50-year-old man who might be 50 pounds overweight too, but he's non-diabetic. These two boys may want to lose 50 pounds, so they got a common goal. But the reason for doing it, completely different ball games, and you got to write to that. If you don't write in your ad to that psychology, you've lost them. As I've said before, I'll write 10, 15 different ads, and each one of my ads are set up to talk to a different psychology, to a different person about their personal reasons. When you blanket an ad, or you write it very general in your ad, and you think this one ad, everybody wants to lose 50 pounds, I'll just write this ad and say, hey, Las Vegas, do you want to lose 50 pounds? If so, try my free 2-week or my free 30-day membership. And that's what, that's just an impulse click. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get an impulse click. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't get some people to come down. You probably will, no doubt. But you're not going to get the much larger crowd coming down because they got an emotional reason that you just tapped and gave them a way to solve it. It's a very different, very, very different breed of person. So you got to remember, don't treat everyone as the same. Don't generalize your marketing that one size fits all. Marketing is not a one size fit all to a total degree. Let me say this. Marketing, the actual aspect of marketing, the system, is much like a selling system. Okay? It's just that. Notice the word I use, system. So I can pretty much set up a marketing campaign by using the same marketing campaign that I always use. I may have 5, 6, 7, 8 of them that I use, but what happens is, of course, you got to change the person's name, or the name of their is business to business, their name, their business, what they do, what the product is, how it works. Those things change because you're dealing with a different business. But the marketing system, or how you're going to sell the person when they come in through the door, will have same steps, same procedures pretty much, but there will be big differences in the emotional transformation and in the experience that you're going to provide for them, because they have a different emotional transformation that's needed. When you put the experience together with the emotional transformation and the great offer, you got a home run. So that's what I'm going to do on Facebook, on bradyclass.com, is teach you how to actually write your Facebook ad. Because if you're not getting back at least a minimum of $5 per $1 you spend on Facebook, you're not doing it right. Because honestly, you should be getting back a minimum of $10 to $15 per $1 that you invest. And if you're not at least getting back that, but maybe you're getting $5 back or $7 back, that's still great. But you got to keep perfecting and improving, and I'll show you how to do that and able to get you up there to that $10, $15 return. Now, so so you got to remember, a lot of health club owners will say, well, it seems like I'm giving a lot away and not getting a lot back in return, and that's before they see it work. But also, you got to remember, even though you miss somebody possibly on the first time that they come in, but you handle it correctly, not the old blow and go. And believe me, I know that way. I was one of the kings of that one. All right, you ain't buying today, get out of my club. I got things to do. I got people to serve. To talk to, want to join. But that's not how you handle a customer any longer. You have to handle a customer now with really appreciating where they're coming from. In fact, that's one of my closing techniques. And I know you know the feel, felt, found. That one's been like played to death. And I used it a lot. And you know what? In some circles today, the damn thing still works, but not in all circles. So one of the things that I actually teach you is one of the closing techniques is how, first of all, to get past the reptilian mind. You got to get past that reptilian mind that's keeping them right where they're at. Friend or foe, fight or flight. Do I trust this person or do I not? What does this person want from me? What are they asking of me? What are they doing here? Why are they doing this? And that's the reptilian brain doing its natural thing. That's what it's supposed to do, protect you. But until you get past that, you're trying to sell them or talk to them from the neocortex. But they're receiving your message at the reptilian brain. So you guys are talking two total different levels here, and it's really just like at best, you got a tug of war going on, but it's more just like they're an immovable object, arms crossed, and they're looking at you and they're thinking, yeah, I've heard this crap before. I know what you're up to. You can get my money, shut up. And that's what they're thinking. So until you get past that reptilian brain, you're dead in the water. So I got a technique that shows you how to get past the reptilian brain. And once you get past it, how to keep it gone. You don't want that reptilian brain coming back into your selling sequence. No. Once we get the old crocodile back in the pen, we keep him there. We don't let him out to run loose again. So, but the thing is, too, you got to remember is that if for some reason you don't make all your money within your first 30 days back on the amount of ad spend that you have, you are going to get it back because you start enrolling more and more customers, meaning sometimes it takes you a week or two to get your flow built up and to really get going. Don't stress out about it. Don't get upset about it. You're going to get your money back, right? And you're going to get it back with a lot more little diamonds attached to it. So it's going to be worth a hell of a lot more than it was before you spent that dollar. We want every dollar to come back somewhere between minimum $5. We want to get you up to where you consider the minimum to be 10 to 15, and then we can start focusing on $20 back on every $1 that you invest. And then you're really rolling. Don't forget to get to write it off. So there's all types of ways to maximize the value of the money that you spend on an ad. And we want to maximize all of them for your benefit and for your profit. So just remember, we want to get past the reptilian brain. We want to create a marketing campaign that makes them curious. Remember, big mistake. On Facebook, a lot of people try to sell their product or service. Facebook ad is not to sell your product or service. Clear that from your mind right now, please. I used to think that too. It's not. The only reason you have an ad on Facebook is for one simple reason: to create a state of curiosity. You want them to become curious about this offer so that they'll call. Because remember, curiosity killed the cat. You want them to be curious about what you're doing, what you're saying, how they're going to get it, what this transformation is, what it means, how they're going to get it, and oh, you gave them a way to do it? That's what you want. Curiosity kicks in and you'll make your money. So there's a very much a psychological game here that you have to play in order to get people to come and click on your ad and actually move into the phone call. But the bottom line is, it's not hard to learn. It's already set up for you in steps. Just literally do what the script says. If you just do what the script says and replace their name and whatnot, that's all you got to do. That's all there is to it. And it's really convenient too if you have a marketing campaign where each month you're not scrambling your brain trying to figure out, what am I going to do this month for an offer? You know, it all stays the same. You can move in and out of 4 or 5 different marketing things, offers and campaigns and whatnot, and you don't ever have to really worry about or be stuck in that rut. How am I going to get my customers, my prospects through the door today? It ain't what you want. You want a full transformational booking every day that you come to work at your health club that you own. If you ain't got a full booking going on, it can be an ugly day. Now, the other thing that, once again, I was talking about was social media, and it doesn't really cost you anything but your time. Now, I'm going to explain to you something right now that I'm doing. It works really great, maximizes your time, and doesn't really cost you anything but some time. I'm making a Facebook ad right here, right now. When I'm done, I'm going to upload this Facebook ad to YouTube. Once I get it on YouTube, I'm going to optimize my YouTube channel to find the people searching for things of this nature. Then I'm going to upload it again to Instagram. Once I get on Instagram, I'll do the same thing. Then I'm getting ready to start a podcast. So the podcast that I'm going to be starting, I'm taking these live Facebooks right now, and I'm saving them, and I'm taking bullet points from these Facebook ads, these live videos, put them in my podcast. So I've already got a plethora of information and subject matter. You don't have to keep coming up with all types of new subject matter. It's not the way it works. Same way with your health club. You don't have to keep coming up with a ton of different ideas all the time and wearing yourself out, stressing yourself out and losing sleep. You don't need that. You simply, bottom line is, what I've already explained to you is all you need. Beat the reptilian brain, get it back in the pen, speak neocortex, have the great pain and problem that you can solve, how you're going to solve it, the great emotional transformation they want and that they need with the great offer. And you got that, you got it. And then the rest is just a phone script when they call in. And then the rest from that point is a selling script. And basically, I give you a step-by-step selling structure. And each one of those structures already have the script. You don't have to think about anything outside of really changing their name and, I mean, and whatever the emotional transformation is that they need. That will vary by the script that you use, because there's some different questions you use, but they're all relatively very close to the same. It doesn't take you long to learn them, and it's really nothing more than about 10 questions, and they don't change that much. They really don't. About 10 to 15 questions, and they really don't change that much. Most of the effect for the reason for them to buy is felt within the last 5 questions. That's where they go deep. And that's where you're pulling things out. If you've done pre-framed them properly at the desk, and the pre-frame has to set up the transformational, the transformation that they're looking to have. It's got to preface it, it's got to index it, it's got to make a reference to it, and they got to be like, oh, okay. And then their mind starts opening up to, yeah, you know, why haven't I did this, or why haven't I done that, or what caused me not to do that, what caused me not to do this, you know, and they start thinking, man, I need to do this, I got to take action, the time is now, I'm here, I'm never going to have a better opportunity than right now, this is my moment to shine. That's how you want them to feel as you're moving along your cell system into the final close. So getting mad reviews and mad results about it. Some of the health club owners I'm working with are just absolutely loving it. And, they just said they never thought of it like that or seen it like that, or broken down with so many of the little potholes filled in the script. Because a lot of people can basically give you a script, but the bottom line is, can they fill in the little potholes along the way? That sets up the cell for the end by having them in such an emotional state that they're going to make an emotional decision. And then later, once they join you from an emotional decision, they became a member, then and only then will they justify what they did logically to their friends. Remember, we buy emotionally, we justify logically. And that's how we all work. That's what we all do. It's like, whenever you buy something, like one of the funniest things to me is this, is I'll see someone who they're in debt, they get a job, they're working hard, right? They're working hard. And then 6 months later, I see them, they got a brand new car. And I'm like, hey man, did you get a new car? Oh yeah, man. What'd you pay for this thing? Oh, about 50 grand, but I deserved it. You know what I'm saying? I deserved it. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. So you got out of all of your previous debt before you bought this $50,000 car? Of course, that answer is mostly always no. It was an impulse emotional decision justified by the emotional decision I've worked hard for it, or logical decision. I've worked hard for it. I deserve to go 50 grand in debt. Never made sense to me. Now, obviously, if you can afford 50 grand like it's nothing, then go ahead, or 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever it is, I don't care. Then go ahead and buy the car. But thing is, we buy emotionally, we justify logically. So when they leave your health club, you want them feeling good emotionally about their decision, and you want them to understand logically what they did. So when they get home and they're talking to their parents or friends or family, whoever it might be, neighbor, whatever, they can justify why they joined your club for their transformation, and they can do so in a logical way, so that when the other person hears it, you don't want their reptilian brain kicking in, because that's a walking advertisement. That's a referral right there. You want their reptilian brain, when they're being told by your new member that their reptilian brain shuts down and they're just listening, and then they start thinking, man, I need to lose 20 pounds too. I need to lose 30 pounds. I need to tone and firm up. I need to look better and feel better. And they accept that. And don't forget, your members still got 3 memberships giveaway. They could be one of them they're going to give that to. So, and I also have a referral program that helps make sure you get those people in the door. These are all the things that I'm teaching you nowadays, is what I wish to God I knew back when I was, running the gross in health clubs and trying to get the numbers. If I had knew this stuff that I know today, I would have. You put the young Brady in there against, well, obviously the older Brady now, and the older Brady would just kill him. I mean, I just blew him right out the door. It would not even be a competition of gross of writing numbers. And I would do it with half the energy, because it's sort of like that old dog, new dog tale that always goes around, been floating around forever. And a new dog or a young dog will have to bite a lot of times in a fight in order to be fatal, but an older dog only has to bite once, and they know where to bite, and it's fatal. That's what you learn through experience, and that's what you learn through wisdom. And that's what I did by paying my dues in business, in the health club business, and small business, being a small business owner myself, and for about 20 years now, and working in partnerships. I've worked in partnerships, and partnerships are great. I don't have a real problem with partnerships, but you both have to be online, I think, equally with each other. And that's a big key, because I'm dealing with a lot of people now who are in business together. They got partnerships, and I'm like, okay, I get this. I know how to handle this, and it really is almost like a marriage when you're a partner in your own health club business with somebody else. The more owners, the more complex it is. Back in the day, as we like to say, when you get a little older, is, I was in a business with a gentleman named Paul, and, we had a marketing, basically a promotional company together. We would go out and we would, you know, help health clubs that were in trouble, or we would get them out of financial trouble, or just someone wanting to make some extra money to buy some equipment, pay up some bills, or maybe just get ahead a little bit, you know, whatever their reason was, you know. And we go in and we always do the, you know, the same old marketing thing, and it would always work just like it was supposed to, even when they didn't think it would. Well, you guys can come in here and try this at my club, but it's not going to work. We got a different crowd, we got a different people, we go at a different pace, we think different. It's all the same. And I know a lot of the owners really believe that it's different, but it's not. That's just a reason emotionally that you put up in your own mind so that you don't have to face the possibility of what did they really do it. That's going to make me look less than effective, or it's going to make me look less than an owner. That's going to make me look like I don't really know what I'm doing. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean not any of that. None of it. That's all followers that your subconscious brain's giving you as not to take forward action, the old reptilian brain coming out. But, you know, but he and I, we were a good match. He had skills that I didn't have. I still remember today, and it amazed me. You know, we could, he and I could walk into a health club together, and Paul and I, and he could look at the health club and look around, and he goes, they're spending about this much on their overhead to stay in business. And I was always thinking to myself, how do you know that? You know, what do you know what they're spending and don't spend? And the thing was that he knew the rules of business and what was involved that had to be paid, what didn't have to be paid, what things approximately costed, things of that nature. So he could run his little mathematics in his head, and then he would come up with an answer that was normally pretty darn close to the story, you know. And I remember that was a skill he had that I didn't possess at that time. And, you know, so when you get someone who is the opposite of you, it can work because they got skills that you don't have. You got skills that they don't have. And when you guys can come together on a mission, that's the same mission, the same reason why, and get online with that, and you guys are together on that, then the how becomes very simple. But you also got to make sure the ambition meets with each other too. Got to make sure one's not willing to go, is not going to go slower, then the other one's going to go faster, and then you know, you start feeling held back and whatnot, and then that becomes a problem. And you know, really, it probably would not have been a problem, or it never is a problem if you just sit down and communicate and stick to what you say. That's the big thing too. So you have to do the same thing and stick to what you say when you put something in print and make an ad. You got to have integrity. You got to have honor. You got to be willing to do what you say that you're going to do, and do it. No matter the cost to you, stick to your word. It pays off in the long run for you. Short gains, don't trade it for long-term security, long-term financial gains. So I guess that's about it right now. I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to post this to YouTube. And I'm just now myself actually getting, I've always been a Facebook boy. So I'm just now expanding into YouTube and Instagram and things of that myself. But once you put this stuff out there on social media, it keeps paying you. Someone comes along, finds you on one of these social media sites, they hear what you're saying, they like what you're saying, they want to do it, they got a way to contact you, bam, you just got free business like a lead box sitting in the store. All you had to do is go out and pick up the lead, bring it back in, call it, get them in through the door. Same way with social media. You're going to leave the lead box there, basically, like this video is the lead box, for an example. They're going to see it. Wow, that's really cool. And what are they going to do? They're going to track me down, or basically click or whatever it was I told them to do, and they're going to come. We're going to talk. I'm probably going to end up getting a new product, a new customer, and boom. It was just like the lead boxes in the old days. It really don't work that much differently. It's just a little different techniques and tactics. I don't really like the word tactics, but just meaning techniques in what you got to do to get A to B to C. So other than that, I'll be back on tomorrow. Thank you guys for listening to me, and probably around this time to 4 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be back. Until then, remember, everyone's going through something. Give everybody a hug. Show them some love. You can change somebody's life. Talk to you later.